My name is Shawn Micheal Walker, and today we have, my name is Shawn Micheal Walker, and this is Insurance You Indemnify Me, and today we have Jason on the microphone.
Thank you, Shawn. Good.
I would say your last name, but I have no idea how to pronounce it.
Storoshuck.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Storoshuck.
Storoshuck. You say every letter.
So
Storoshuck.
what nationality is
Ukrainian.
that? Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad's family's from Ukraine, and my mom's from Italy.
Okay. Do you have any feelings about that?
No, not really. I mean, I hate to see what's happening to them.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a horrible tragedy what's happening to them,
yeah.
but you know, it's just the
But
world we
nothing
live
like,
in. No, I don't.
Like there's no family there. There's
probably distance relatives that I've never met.
Got it. Okay, so who is Jason? Like, let's hear the background.
Okay.
Who the heck are you? Start from the beginning.
Originally born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Way too far back. Don't start there. No, just kidding.
Hey, you wanted to know everything, so I'm telling you
Where,
everything.
Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, got it.
Go Steelers.
Okay, no, are you serious?
Yes, diehard Steelers
You're dead
fan.
serious?
Dead serious.
Wow, that's...
They won the first 2 Super Bowls while I lived there. As a kid growing up,
okay, that makes sense. See, I'm a 49ers fan, and I grew up in San Francisco, and same thing. Like, they were, same thing.
And then when I was about 8 years old, my dad got transferred out here. I grew up in Aurora, Colorado.
Oh, okay, so you've been here forever.
Yeah, I was here a long time, and then after I graduated college in '94, I moved to Arizona.
Where'd you go to college?
Metro.
Metro, cool.
Yeah, it was Metro State College.
Yeah,
I
love that college.
Metro State University. So
yeah, but I love that campus. That's a really cool campus.
Yeah, it was a lot different when I was there. The Tivoli was still the Tivoli Mall.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Student Union or whatever they've done to it since then. So
yeah,
it was good. And then I moved to Arizona. And
how long ago were you in Arizona?
I've been in Arizona for 28 years.
Did you do insurance before? You must have. No, you didn't do insurance before you left.
No,
so tell us the insurance route.
Okay, well,
kids? No kids?
No, I'm married, 3 dogs, no kids.
Awesome. What kind of dogs?
We have, I love it. It's Bettis. Named after Jerome Bettis.
Okay.
She's Chow Chihuahua.
Okay.
A rescue dog. And then we have Lambert, named after Jack Lambert.
Okay.
He's a terrier dachshund.
And
then we have Harrison. It's our new puppy. He's a Parson Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
He's about a year old. He's named after James Harrison, the linebacker.
Okay. We just got a new puppy ourselves. We do Vizslas, which are Hungarian hunting dogs.
Awesome dogs.
And we have a puppy in our house that is literally 10 weeks old right now, and it's insanity right now at our house.
We had Harrison. We got him. We had 12 and a half and a 13 and a half dog, and we decided to get a
brand new one. Yeah, wow.
And we brought him home last year, and it was complete. We forgot how much work it was. Our 2 dogs have a dog door in and out. We could leave him for a night. Yeah. Now we have this nightmare, but he turned a year, so he's getting better.
It's working.
He's getting better.
Well, that's the problem with these Vizslas is like they don't chill out. Like it takes till like year 2, 3, sometimes even like year 4 before they're like, okay, I'll lay down on the family room carpet and just relax.
Oh yeah,
I mean it's so crazy.
Our crazy guy gets a zoomies. He'll come flying in from outside and just run around like. And the older dog's like, "What is going on?"
The older dog's like, "Whoa, whoa,
we hate you."
So when did you start insurance? So what did you do from like a career perspective, and then how did you fall into insurance?
When I moved from Arizona, I just decided, or when I moved from Colorado, I was like, I hate this snow. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
So out of college, I just packed up, moved to Arizona without a job.
Yeah.
Figured, what the heck? Okay. I worked at it used to be the Scannicon Hotel, but now it's the Inverness.
I love
over
that
there.
hotel.
Yeah. So I used to work there, and I met a guy there, and he's like, hey, I have a investigation business in Arizona. Look me up when you move there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I had a degree in criminal justice. I'm like, hey, it sounds normal. So got out there, and I called him up, and he put me in for an interview. So I figured, investigations, maybe I'll just interview people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're hiring private investigators. I'm like, okay, that sounds fun. What does that mean?
It does sound cool. Is it cool?
It sounds cool. I mean,
okay.
You see Magnum PI?
Yes.
Okay.
You were a Magnum PI.
It's nothing like that.
Oh, man.
I was not living in
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Have a Ferrari?
No Ferrari.
You didn't wear short shorts?
No.
Did you have a mustache at least?
No, I couldn't grow one back then.
Man, that's a bummer.
So, but it was so they just basically we did workman's comp insurance fraud.
Okay.
So basically the person
follow people around and see if they're jumping on trampolines.
100% true.
Okay.
And it was good gig in your 20s. It was fun.
Sure.
I wound up doing it for 11 years, a lot of traveling. So I mean that was working 6 to 7 days a week. Wow. And you would literally like, okay, hey, I got cases for 4 days out of town. You pack and go out of town. You been out of town for 18 days.
Yeah.
Doing your laundry at the laundromat and all this stuff.
Sound cool.
Checking in and out of the, not the nicest hotels in the world because you're not staying in the nicest parts of the country.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Were you following people around all over the country? Like they were giving you somebody to watch for
most of it was
in some other
Arizona.
state?
Yeah, most of it was in Arizona, but I did work in New York. I worked in Pennsylvania. I worked in Florida. I worked in Texas.
It sounds like interesting work. I bet it get old really quick.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, it's probably easier now than it was then.
Yeah.
Because with the technology.
Yeah.
Back then, I mean, I'll date myself here that you literally had to pull out a map.
yeah, and you couldn't
and
just
look
set up
for-
a camera and just go to bed. You'd have to
You
like
gotta follow them around, and if you lost them, you're pulling out your map to try to find out where they are, not like GPS on your phone. You didn't have Netflix.
Right.
You didn't have, I mean, I did have a little black and white television set.
with
that
an
I-
antenna that you
Yeah,
pull
you
out.
pull out
Yeah.
and stick it out the,
Yeah.
out the window or whatever just to try to get something. Do
Like,
remember
I
watching
think
the
somebody's
OJ?
following me. Why do you think somebody's following you? Well, there's an antenna sticking out of his window.
Yeah, it was.
All the kids listening to this are like, what are they talking about?
Oh, it was fun though, but then it got old. You know, after a while, being gone for so long, working 6 or 7 days every
Yeah,
single week,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, and making less money as time went on. They kept restructuring
yeah,
the
yeah,
pay,
yeah.
and I'm just like, you're working harder to make
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
So I just kind of going through the motions. And early, I think it was 2004. Actually, I went to Vegas for 3 years and became a regional director for them.
Okay.
To open up an office and made even less money than I did as an investigator. I'm like, well, this isn't
doesn't
fun.
make sense.
So I bought a house back in Arizona. I'm moving back to
right,
Arizona.
right, right.
And then just talking to my brother. My brother, my middle brother. He's always been in sales from college on. He's great at sales and sales. He did food sales for like Shamrock and Kraft Foods and stuff like that. But again, he was working 6 days a week because on Sundays you had to take all the orders. So he got into insurance.
Yeah.
Had a friend of his that was with a captive agency. Got in with them and just started doing well after a couple of years. And he's like, "You should try insurance." So I was like, "Okay, what? I don't know anything about it. Doesn't sound too hard." So I went and applied, and the recruiter contacted me. So I went and met with him, and he gave me the little slideshow and said, "Hey, this is sounds
how it
great.
all works."
Yeah, and he says, "You're exactly what we're looking for." And I'm thinking, "Okay, great." So he says, "Go get your licenses." So went home, bought the books, studied for a week and a half, 2 weeks, took the P&C, passed it, studied for a week and a half, 2 weeks,
Called the guy up and said,
passed life and health. So I called him up, didn't return my call. So I'm like, okay. So I waited another week, called him,
it's a captive
no
carrier.
answers. Yeah, the captive, never heard back from him. I'm like, oh God, I guess maybe I'm not qualified. What did I do
not
wrong?
what he was looking for.
What did I do wrong? What did I do? And he never called me. So then I'm like, I think I called him like 3 or 4 times, never heard back from him. I'm like, well, guess I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden I get a call from the office, and they're from somebody else. Well, he got fired.
Oh, okay.
He got terminated. So then they brought me in. They're like, hey, we just wanted to see where you're doing. I'm like, well, I'm already licensed. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, come on in.
You are today.
Yeah, you're ready. Come on in. So I did came in and met with them, and they kind of went through some things and like, okay, you're ready we'll do some training. Kind of doing their basic training stuff. And I was still doing the investigations during the day, training at night just to kind of get things going. I kind of like that aspect that I can still pay my
Bridge the
bills.
gap,
Still pay my bills with my normal job while I'm trying to understand what I'm going to be doing, because it was all new to me. I mean, go from investigations where you're paid to not be found and not talk to people, you're paid to hide from people. All of a sudden, you got to be in front of people and sell them. And I'm not a salesperson. I'm probably the worst salesperson in the world,
Right.
I think.
Okay.
But anyways,
I agree. No, I'm just kidding.
hey, that's okay. That's okay. So went and did that and just got through the training, and then they just started giving leads. He would purchase leads and give them to us and start, quoting people. And, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, listening to the basic training. Okay, you go in with all these different proposals. So my, I don't know. I just think I was too stupid and stubborn to quit. Yeah. And then the ball just started rolling.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2005.
2005.
Yeah.
Wow.
2005.
And do you want to say the organization or not? It's fine with me if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine.
It was with Farmers.
Okay, cool. So so you're at Farmers for like 13, 14 years?
13, yeah, 13, 14.
So how long have you been here?
I've been here 3 years.
Oh, you bounced somewhere else though, right?
Yeah, I went somewhere else.
Okay.
And it was kind of good because the whole, Farmers was great. It was great to me, but I think it just changed. The culture changed. Everything changed on what, beliefs. Everything was just different from what I came in. Sure. I mean, I made more money than I ever thought I would in my lifetime working there. Sure. Great, but it just got to the point that professionally I was not happy. Yeah, personally, everything was great, but professionally wasn't happy. So I just kind of beat my head against the wall. I'm like, okay, do I because I'm the type of person that if you hate something, you can't sit there and
keep hating it,
complain about it. You got to do something. Either shut up and deal with it, just shut up and go with it, or leave. Yeah. And I got to the point where I was actually in Vegas with my friends for March Madness, and I'm just like, I'm over this. I talked to my wife, got back on Sunday. My wife's like, I think you should just leave. just leave. And I was kind of talking to another organization that they kind of had they kind of had a different type of model where they service all the policies, you kind of sell them. And to me, it sounded great because I was kind of burned out on service with staff because of just the place I came from. You know, it was just in shambles a lot of times. So went ahead and, hey, let's try that. And I was grateful for it because of the fact that, you know, it gave me the push to jump, to go independent. And then I had a 1-year non-compete with Farmers, which I honored, and just had that. And I was like, after about a year, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not really a business owner. I'm just a producer. And I'm like, that's not what I want to do. And as far as servicing my clients, I mean, I don't mind talking to my clients because I think that's what cements the relationship with your clients, because my retention's always been good when I was captive. Still is good. So then after about a year, I was like, well, you know, this isn't for me. And talked to Jeff Holtman, you know, and I've known the Holtmans.
Guy.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've grown up with
all
Holtmans.
The Holtmans
I've
are
grown
amazing.
up with them.
Every Holtman is amazing.
Shannon graduated a year ahead of me, and his brother Jamie graduated a year behind me.
Except for Shannon. No, I'm just kidding. even Shannon's amazing.
I got many stories about Shannon.
Yeah.
So, but
did you play sports with those guys? Or
no, I just grew up with them. I mean, my brother was
they were
best
in the
friends
neighborhood.
with them.
You went to the same high school.
They were best friends, and our group of friends all hung out together.
Yeah, great. Wow. So you guys are super tight.
Yeah, we've known them I've known them my whole life. So
cool.
Just actually saw him back in December playing bad golf in Arizona.
Okay.
So
horrible golfers.
We all are.
Yeah, no. Every single person.
So Jeff just kind of mentioned, hey, PGI. And so I was like, okay, well, yeah, what about them and whatever. And I looked at some stuff online about you guys, and then got in touch with David Colvin and kind of sat down and talked to him, and he kind of went through everything with me. And I liked what he had to say. I mean, he was, to me, everything. I'm really strong on honesty. You know, just be honest with me. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't lie to me. Don't tell me. I don't like to be, what do you call it? I don't like the snake oil salesman. So I hate that. He was nothing like that. He was just honest.
Not that guy.
Not that. So then said, hey, well, I want to go see the main office. I want to come see the main office and see if it's all true, because I'm the type of person you need to see if it's real. You know, you could be telling me everything in the office could be half the size of this.
Sure.
You could be sitting there doing nothing. So,
by the way, he saw the podcasting studio. He's like, "This is it," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that cool."
It looks a lot bigger on TV. It looks a lot bigger on the podcast.
Yeah, it's true. By the way, earlier this week I was visiting with Glovebox at their office, and they showed me where they record cease and desist, and it's this really small, tight little room, and. Which is fine. I mean, but I think to the viewer, you always assume that this is a big open space, and it's not.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. It's comfortable. It's very comfortable. Yeah. It's nice and warm in here. At least it's not cold. That's what I was worried about.
That's right.
But and then I came out here and met with you guys. Met with you and Rex for a couple of days, and then I really liked what I saw, so I'm not the type of person that's going to go around and interview 10 different aggregators to see if I get a good feeling from one. I'm just going to.
Well, you'd already been with one too, so I assume you were kind of like, I kind of already got an idea of what I'm doing.
Some people like to read 20 different contracts, and I was maybe it's bad of me not to research as much as I should, but decided what the heck. So I decided to do it, and I think I opened December 1st of 2019. Yeah. So and then. You know,
and then COVID hit.
Yeah, and that was a very interesting time. I was like, great. My wife's a nurse, and she was with a brand new surgery center. Well, they shut down all surgery centers, so they furloughed her. So I'm like,
wow. Yeah. So she said, you better get to work.
Yeah. So she's at home all day. I'm at home, and I'm like, okay, I can't see anybody. I can't go out and mark. I can't do anything. Well, a lot of my previous clients reached out to me. They just started contacting me through LinkedIn, Facebook, calling my phone, calling me and just, hey, Jason, are you still in insurance? You'd say, well, my obligation was well over with. So then I was able to help them, and just business started coming in, and it was great because, I mean, my wife wasn't working and all this. Yeah. So it just,
very cool.
It just started going from there.
And now you have a powerhouse agency. Growing.
I don't know if it's powerhouse, but it's doing okay.
I'm being a little generous. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. He's got a great agency. I saw the numbers yesterday. It looks really good.
It's not a monster,
but
it's
growing.
No,
it's growing and it's great.
Yeah.
So good. So I'm gonna bounce around on all these questions. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you in insurance?
Oh God, I would
like the funniest insurance story. The client called you and said something funny, or you had to do something.
Probably the funniest thing was me on my first appointment.
Okay.
I mean,
that would be funny.
It was
first appointments are funny.
It was like Tommy Boy. I mean, I was just because like I was explaining, they tell you, best, better, or good, best, better, whatever it was.
Good, better, best.
I go in and I'm meeting with a retired couple.
Yeah.
So first thing I say is, "This is my first appointment," which dumbest thing to ever say.
Take it easy on me. This is my first appointment.
So dumbest thing. So I start going through, and halfway through, I'm lost on which proposal we're talking about, and I'm just sitting there, and I have paper everywhere, and the wife just looks at me. She goes, "Okay, just relax. You're doing fine." And I'm like, "Okay." So then, kind of finish it up, and I'm ready. And they always tell you in sales, don't leave without a check. Don't leave without a check. And they're like, "Okay, well, we need to think about it." And I'm like, I didn't get anything. Thanks a lot. And I just walked out. So I go back to the office. You're with a bunch of young guys. Like, how'd it go? I was like,
"Where's the check?"
Horrible. I'm going, I don't think this is going to work out. And then a day later, they called me and they said, "We're going to go with you. We really liked you. We met with a couple other people, and you were we liked your honesty. And that you just seemed like you were being true and honest." Where we had met with some other people come in and
we're real sales.
Yeah, salesy. And they said, "Oh, we thought it was kind of cute that you kind of got lost in the middle of it." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want. That's not going to be my thing. I'm not going to every appointment. I'm not going to go on."
That's not my sales stick.
That's not it.
Is to get lost in the middle of my presentation.
That's probably the funniest thing. Looking back at it now, afterwards, I was terrified. I was like, "Oh my god."
You didn't have your boss there with you or anything to help you through it?
No. He said I would. I'm like, no. I'm 35 years old. I don't need my dad coming with me to that. No. But it was.
Although they like to go, like oftentimes they like to ride along and make sure you're doing it right or whatever.
Well, I have an appointment tonight. You want to come help me on it?
Nope, I do not.
Come on.
I in Arizona or here?
Arizona, you might, right? It's a little warmer.
Yeah, right.
So that's probably the funniest. I really haven't any crazy things happen.
Okay. Coolest guy you know in the insurance industry?
I gotta say you.
Dang!
I have to say you. I mean,
that can't possibly be true because maybe it is true at the moment, but it's only because we don't know each other super well. The more people get to know me, the more they're like, "What a loser! What a dork!"
I don't know many people in the insurance industry, so
if I'm it'll go downhill fast because most people they go hang out with me for one night and they're like, "He's not that cool." So they start talking about sports and my eyes kind of glass over like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then, it's that people are just kind of like, "Man, that's
wear the Nuggets hat. You got to."
I know, but I actually just really like the Nuggets hat.
Okay.
So,
okay.
If I'm it, that's a big problem or it won't be that way for long. That's
maybe as I branch out.
It's got to be one of the Holtmans. The Holtmans are way cooler than I am.
Well, I don't want to.
Way cooler.
Yeah, but they're not as cool as me.
Yeah.
So I can't put them on that pedestal.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
can't be me. Well, like I said, if it's me, that's a big problem because that'll change real fast. Real fast. Okay, what makes insurance foxy to you?
Makes insurance foxy to me.
Yeah, like why do you stay?
I enjoy it. I mean, it kind of sounds weird. I enjoy insurance. I enjoy helping people. I mean, but if you're at a party, there's nothing that can clear a room faster and you try to talk to somebody about insurance. They want to get away from you. Yeah. But I just enjoy learning about people, about their businesses, about, and helping them out because you meet different people, different walks of life. Yeah. And you just it's been fun to see a lot of my clients, their kids, they were little when I started and now they're buying their first house. They're having kids of their own and just being able to help them out too. So I think that's the biggest thing is helping people. I feel like I'm doing good for people. Yeah,
it seems like a killer industry. Like I meet so many people in the industry that they just have like a servant's heart, they just want to serve like society in some way and they do it through insurance and it actually works. It actually works really, really well. So, good. There was something you just said that made me perk up, but I forgot what it was. This is the long, dull silence that people love during podcasts. So just let it ride. I can't think of what it was.
What topic were we talking about?
I don't even remember. But this is what the viewer loves. They love to sit and listen to silence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you watch the show, we stop and get silent frequently.
Oh, hey, that's okay. If they're still watching.
Yeah, no, they're still watching.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shut off.
All right. So, thoughts on the hard market. How hard has the hard market treated you in Arizona, if at all? Arizona's pretty resilient.
Yeah,
Most carriers want to write.
Yeah, they do, but we're still having the rate increases.
Yeah.
We're still having the 25, the 45% rate increases.
Yeah. How you dealing with it? Clients are calling you?
Clients are calling. I mean, you just try to help them out. I mean, it definitely better positioned as an independent than you are as a captive because you can shop them. So I haven't really lost anybody. You just kind of let them know, hey, this is your best option, or I can maybe move you to this company. I have some carriers that are kind of new to the industry and newer that, I'll just be honest, and they're good carriers, and I'll just tell the client, hey, I can save you money by moving you here. The coverage is the same. Personally, I haven't had any claims with them yet, but I imagine they'll take care of you and let them make that decision. Some people choose to stay with, the better known.
A national brand.
Yeah, and then some people are like, yeah, let's go. I trust you, and they trust my judgment, and but it's been interesting. I mean,
Are you the kind of guy who proactively writes a letter to all of your clients and says, hey, this is what's going on in the industry. Expect something drastic at renewal and call me and make sure that we go through this process together? Or are you kind of the guy who sits back and waits for them to call and go, what the hell happened to my renewal?
No, I have some automation that I send out 30 days before the renewal. It's just kind of a thing that goes out, emails them and says, thank them for being with my agency. Really appreciate it. You should be receiving renewal documents. Please take a moment to review them to see if anything. And then I put 5 questions of things, if any of these things change, any new drivers, any additions to the house, any changes of jobs, any new vehicles, some basic things to that. And I get a lot of responses back. People answer the questions. Some people say no to all the questions. So that's kind of good. I kind of put it out there. The super drastic rate changes, I'll reach out to the clients. In this market, 10, 15%, that's not bad. That's horrible, nothing. But when it's 45%, and it bases too, 45% on, a small number is nothing. But when you got $10,000 and it's going $5,000 is a lot of, so, you just kind of got to be more proactive, I think, in those situations.
Yeah.
So.
Interesting. And what about insurance to value or coverage A, not keeping up with inflation? Are you running around trying to fix that for every single client or looking at that for every single client?
I'm looking at it for every single client. Yeah, I've kind of always erred on the caution of, being a little bit higher on insured to value, not stripping things down. I want to make sure that they have the right things. I ask them the questions. Zillow's a great thing now that you can pull up and look at the house and see things where back when I first started, they didn't really have that option. You got to ask them 100 questions. Right. So, but
do you have baseboards?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So.
Do you have a French door? Does the French door have glass? Okay, very good. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have about 50 questions. I'm going to stay where I am. I don't want to.
Is your carpet standard grade? Very good.
So that, yeah, I'm looking at that a lot. Because some companies are kind of, in my opinion, they're jumping up too much. Yeah, they're jumping up. So you got to go in there and make sure the reconstruction, especially ones that you wrote a year ago. Yeah, the costs were already increased at that point. They didn't jump up. So so just kind of going through and making sure they're right. Okay. I'm definitely not going to bring things down just to keep the premium where it was and underinsure the people. I don't want to put them in that situation.
It'd be so interesting to have a podcast with you sitting here in Arizona, because Arizona's not getting hit that hard by the hard market, even though you're experiencing stuff, and sit you next to somebody who's in a geographic area that's just getting walloped by the hard market, and have you be like, no, things aren't that bad. Things are freaking horrible. No, it's actually not that bad. It's the worst thing ever, So it'd be really interesting to see that contrast.
And, in all fairness, it's not, hard markets stink for everybody, but if all the carriers are reacting the same, it's okay.
Yeah, all boats rise in high tide, right?
But when you were in the captive, if you guys are reacting bad and nobody else is reacting, that's horrible because they can go everywhere. Yeah. So that's why the hard market, it's not good, but because it's affecting us, go to the grocery store. Everything's affecting everything.
Yeah. Eggs.
So, I don't know.
Eggs.
We were thinking of getting a couple chickens.
My wife's always wanted chickens, and I've always not wanted chickens, so we've never gotten chickens. Because chickens attract mice, and mice attract snakes, and I have a big problem with snakes.
And no, we will not get any chickens.
Yeah, good.
Our neighbors mentioned they might get chickens or puppies, and my wife's like,
gosh,
please don't get chickens. Well, they got puppies, thank goodness.
I don't know if that would be any better though, yapping little puppies.
Well, we have coyotes out there and in the neighborhood, so they can jump a wall and come in the backyard. And,
maybe get one.
Yeah. How do you feel about scorpions?
I'm not a huge fan of scorpions, although I used to live in Mexico for a long time in a scorpion, like an Arizona kind of climate, and Yeah, I mean, I've seen scorpions. They're not that big of a deal. Stomp on them, and they're no big deal.
I hate them.
Yeah. Although I've never seen like the big ones.
No, we don't have those.
I've only seen like the little ones.
Yeah, we have those little things, and they
little glow in the dark ones.
We never had them, and then all of a sudden they showed up last year.
That would be not cool.
No, so
you could just spray for that stuff, though.
No, spray doesn't kill scorpions.
Well, can't you like lay down like some sort of crystal
salt
stuff?
What is it? Diatomaceous earth or something like that. But we have the puppy in the backyard, so he might be getting his nose in there. So
okay. Well, there you go. You got scorpions.
Another reason.
Do you actually have to flip your shoes upside down?
No, I don't worry about that.
Have you ever seen a scorpion climbing up your wall in your house?
No.
That's going to happen, though.
Never.
Everybody I've met in Arizona is like, yeah, there was a scorpion on my wall at some point.
I've seen them on my back wall, but not in my house. Huh. We have an agreement. Don't come in the house, and they can stay outside. And I know. Oh, great.
I don't know.
I'm probably going to have one in my house when I go home.
That's right. Yeah. You'll get a call from your wife and be like, you won't believe what I just saw. Okay. What are agents doing to win? What are you doing to win?
I guess, I'm kind of I'm not a big marketer or anything like that. What I'm doing to win is just basically being myself and being there for my existing clients, asking for referrals with my referral partners. And that seems to work for me, just being available. Yeah. And just, obviously I'm a one-man show still, but I always answer my cell phone. I always, even if it's on the weekend, if I'm in the middle of something, leave a message, I'll call you back. I just make myself available. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to be out with my wife and somebody needs to add a car. I'm not going to drop dinner and run home to do that. You got to set parameters somewhere, but I think people appreciate just being honest with them on things. So that seems to be working for me. It's always kind of the way I've done things as captive, independent, and it just, I don't know. Sometimes I think like, am I lucky? Which I think luck has a lot to do with this business. Yeah, being at the right place at the right time, and meeting the right people.
I think so.
Because
what was complicated, or what was so complicated at your captive lifestyle that made you have to bail? Like you said, you made the decision real fast, and you were like, "Dude, I got to get out of here. Life has gotten miserable." What was it that made life miserable?
It was a lot of things. It was about a year of things because I thought I'd never leave. I built a successful, like I said, making more money. I thought I'd never leave, and then
what was it that was the rub?
The rub was probably the biggest rub that I thought. And it's just that I thought is just kind of I kind of felt like a disrespect to the older tenured agents.
Because of contract changes, or what was the disrespect?
Well, because we just, we worked hard. When you came in, it's like, okay, you bust it for 5-10 years, and then you make it, and retention is more important than anything. Sure. New business is going to come and go, but retention, because you find those good people to be there. Yeah. Well, it became all about new business. Retention didn't matter so much anymore. Yeah. And, they were doing some commission cuts, and it just got frustrating where you've had these people for 5-10 years, and they're just like, I really want to be, but I got to leave you. And these are big households. And the new people are coming on. Okay, they're just sell, and they're but they're single autos here. They're chasing things everywhere, buying these leads, and I'm just like,
they're not building the quality book that I have.
No, yeah, and it just, there was like no respect for it. It was you just kind of felt disrespected, and then I'll just never remember. I was in a meeting, and they're just like, sell what's on sale, and I'm like, what does that mean? Sell what's on sale? I was like, I'm
like, what?
I'm not.
What about take care of the client? Yeah, with financial products that take care of them.
Like, sell what's on sale. I don't work at a restaurant. We have ribs on special. Hey, eat this. Contest to see. And I just like, you know what? This just isn't working for me anymore, and just became miserable. Like I said, Monday through Friday until Friday, I was done work, and I was unhappy during the day. It just like so. And thank goodness, my wife's awesome, and she's just like, you just leave. Just leave. We'll figure it out. And thank goodness.
That is really awesome.
I'm glad I wasn't in a position that I couldn't leave.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what, to me, it seemed like they wanted, hey, take a contract value loan, take contract. They almost want to get you where, to us, my contract value is always my safety net. That's my goal. If I decide to leave, that money's there. They almost want you to use it so you can't leave. Hire more, do more. And I'm like,
use your contract value to
hire more,
supercharge your agency.
Yeah. And I just like, well, that's one thing if you're in a competitive environment. We weren't in a competitive environment. So to me, it was just like, I just couldn't do it anymore. And
you mentioned you were a one-man shop, but you're going to shift into a two-man shop pretty quickly here. Do you suspect any complications with that?
No, not at all.
No,
not at all. Okay. No. known each other a long time. I think it'll be a good.
Yeah, it'll just be nice to be able to go on vacation and say, hey, take care of things while I'm gone.
Exactly. Because I'm going to Switzerland in September.
Why Switzerland?
My wife decided to choose it. So
she said, we're going to Switzerland.
Switzerland and Paris.
I'll follow you.
Yeah, so
I almost got in a fight in Paris. Oh, you want to hear this story?
Yeah.
The Champ de la Champs-Élysées, whatever, the big main strip in Paris is the Champ de la. I have no idea what it's called, but I'm there with my twin sister and my dad. They go into some store, like let's just say it's a jewelry store, because my twin sister goes in there, and I'm just standing outside. This is like this street is like the like Times Square of Paris, right? So it's a big populated street. And like 3 guys come up to me and they start yelling at me in French, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on because I don't speak French.
You didn't learn French before you went?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
And they started and started like pushing me, and I'm like, what is going on? And so of course, when somebody starts pushing you, you start like getting real defensive real quick. So we all start like pushing and backing up, and like everybody starts putting up their hands and their fists and things, and I'm like, what on earth is happening here? How on this should be like the safest street in all of Paris. I have no idea what happened. A cop came by, like started yelling at everybody in French, and like, you know, pointing his finger and sending off these people, and everybody's yelling, and I'm just like ready to go. And then my dad and sister come out, and they're like, hey, okay, let's go on to the next door. And I'm like, guys, I almost literally just got in a fight with 3 people. And they're like, sure you did. I'm like, I'm dead serious. And that was that. Like it flamed up and like flamed out like that fast.
Yeah, I almost got in a fight at the Colosseum in Italy.
Really? Did you really?
No, I was gonna. No, I was. We had a tour, you know. So we have this tour guide. She's probably 55 years old, 100 pounds. Little girl. You
almost fought with her?
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
You're a horrible person.
No. So we're waiting in line when she's at the front of the thing. Well, then this guy comes pushing up. I mean, there's 100 people trying to get in line.
Sure. To get wherever.
He's just pushing. So he's like, gets to her and tries to move her out of the way. And she's like, excuse me, respect the line. And I was standing next to her. So I'm like, okay. So I kind of moved over, and he tried to get by me, and I elbowed him. You ain't going anywhere. You ain't going. Yeah. So he hated it, and he couldn't go forward. So then we get in the Colosseum, and he just starts yelling. Wow, he was foreign or something like that.
Oh boy.
So I gave him the bird and told him, and then everybody in our tours looking at me.
Oh boy.
My wife's just kind of like,
honey, what are you doing?
And she's like, the tour guide's like, thank you so much, but I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm like, well, it didn't. I made it happen. I moved over, and I was just like, just people. I mean, like, we're all going to the same place. We're going to get there at the same time. Why you got to be a jerk? So
see, everybody's getting in fights in Europe.
I almost told him to get down on the floor. Let's go meet on the floor of the Colosseum and let's see what happens.
We'll put on a show for everybody.
He probably would have came down there and whipped me up. And
he probably would have.
Laid me out in the middle of the Colosseum.
He probably would have jiu-jitsu'd you, and you would have been like, oh, man.
But what a story you could say. I got knocked out in the Colosseum.
That would be cool.
I fought in the Colosseum, and I lost. I lost.
That would be so cool.
So
that'd be so cool.
That was it. Yeah.
You mentioned you are sending out automated texts. So what's your
emails.
Automated emails? Yes. Excuse me. So what is your like tech stack in your agency? Like, are you using anything fancy in your agency from a tech perspective?
I'm the most non-technical person in the world, but I got a couple things.
So
I got a couple things.
Okay.
I use Canopy Connect.
Okay.
For
let's pause on this for a second. The first time I heard about Canopy Connect was Charles McDade mentioned Canopy Connect, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So let's just pause for a second and take some time on Canopy Connect.
Yep.
Tell everybody what it is. And tell us if you love it and if it's absolutely amazing. I think you do love it.
Yeah,
I think everybody who uses it is like, it's the best.
I love it.
So what is it?
What is Canopy Connect is it's like a link you can send to your clients. You can email it, you can text it to them.
Okay.
And basically they click on the link. It'll say like, it'll pull up and say, you received a thing from S&K Insurance. Click on this link. They click on it, and then they will choose. They have to have an online account with their current carrier. Okay. So Farmers, State Farm, Allstate, Travelers, anybody. They have to have an online account with them.
Or else it immediately does not work as well as it.
Well, if they don't have an online account, they can't pull the deck pages.
Okay.
They have to have an online account with their carrier.
Okay.
So basically, they go in and they say they check, I have Travelers. Click on Travelers. They use their log information for Travelers. and then they'll put in drivers or names, driver's license numbers, and then it automatically submits. They hit submit. It sends you their deck pages.
Awesome.
Directly, and then you get an email saying notified. So it's great because you have the deck pages on file.
Yeah.
You got the full copies of them, so you can see the full coverages and
so you
everything
can
they have.
do the appropriate job.
Yep, and then obviously some carriers don't report to prior insurance. So if you get that error, you have the deck page. You don't have to go chase them down. So it works great.
What percent of your clients actually have their login information for their former carrier or their carrier, their existing carrier?
If they have an online account, they have their login information.
Okay.
If they don't have an online account, it's mute.
I guess what I'm saying, you send the Canopy Connect link 100% of the time, and 80% of the time it works?
I would say 80 to 90% of the time it works. Yep.
Wow.
And then you got to kind of explain it to them, like say they have their home with Travelers, autos with Safeco. They just got to use the link twice.
Yeah.
Use it 2 times, but it's awesome. I mean, I can't say enough about that.
And it doesn't cost that much.
No, I think it's $99 a month.
Okay, great. Out there in the world, people are like,
Yeah,
$99, what a chump. I paid $52.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea what
I think you could have
I have no idea what it costs.
And I think you could have unlimited users too with the 99, within your agency.
Oh, so it's $99 for the agency.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Yep.
I've heard Canopy Connect is the bomb. So I didn't know that's how it worked, though. I knew that you somehow magically got the deck pages and got all the information on the insureds. I didn't know that's how it happened.
Yeah, and I they don't have an app, but what I did is I saved the link to my notes so I could be on my cell phone and just send it to them
the
that
link
way.
and say, hey, we'll get this process started, fill out this link, and it'll get me everything that I need.
Yep. So it just works great. It's just so much easier.
I really like that.
And people like it too, because or if you don't want to do that, then we can sit here and I can ask for VIN numbers, and that just turns them off. They're like, no, because I said it literally takes you 2 minutes to do. Instead of we're sitting here on the phone for 20 minutes writing down.
So
the numbers.
Canopy Connect, good. I'm glad you're using that.
Yep.
Good.
Love
okay.
that.
What else?
I've tried different automations. Like Jeff Holtman always makes fun of me because I'll go try something, do it for a year, and don't know what I'm doing. And
he's like, you're paying for it and you have no idea what you're
doing. No, because
Sure, yeah, me too.
I'm not that
I'm
smart.
the same way.
I don't know.
Yeah. When it comes to technology, I'm like,
I'm horrible.
Even this thing, I have no idea how to use this Roadcaster, and I just have no idea.
Just don't touch anything.
Yeah, right.
So I tried different ones, and there's some great products out of there, but they're overwhelming. I mean, for my feeble mind, I'm I can't do so. I did a couple, like 2 years in a row. I tried one for a year each, and they just could never get them dialed in.
CRMs or something?
Yeah, CRM, customer management, touch points, stuff like different things with them. So then I found this. I talked to these guys last year with Levitate.
Okay.
I talked to them last year, but I just signed up for this other thing. I paid it. I'm like, well, I got to give them a shot.
Yeah.
Got to give them a shot. So then call me back in 6 months. Let's see how this goes. Well, got a little antsy after, I think I said call me back in November. Well, in October of this year, I'm like, well, I'm ready to make the switch. So kind of felt bad because I just called them direct and sat through the thing and booked it. And then beginning of November, the guy told me to call me back 8 months ago, call me back. And I was like, I already signed up for you guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was mad at me or not. I was like, should have followed up sooner. But so I like their system. They integrate great with
Easy Links?
They're integrated with Easy Links, but they also integrate great with Microsoft Office with drawing a blank on the mail, on the email.
Yeah.
So
Outlook.
So it actually goes to it doesn't get flagged as spam, because a lot of things get flagged as spam. Like emails you send out, somehow they have this technology, whatever agreement with them, and it goes. So the open rate is in like 85% open rate on emails. Wow. So, and you got you got like a representative that every quarter they'll meet with you and you set up your automation for the quarter. But I have like an onboarding campaign, welcoming people, thanking them for coming in. First step is thanking them. Second step is sending out, like a few days later, I have an app, doing the app. Third day or 7 days after, I think Google review. And then 30 days later, checking in, want to make sure everything's good. And just leave them alone at that point. And then they get different. I think that they say a good thing to do is maybe touch them maybe once a month, not with email. Don't do too much. So, and also they have social media posts that you can add to your Facebook and stuff like that, which is, you set it and forget, which is kind of nice on that. So it's been great. And I have the renewal email set up for commercial and personal lines.
30 days before.
Yep, 30 days before, and goes and asks them those questions. So it's just kind of a good way to stay in front of people. I sent out some holiday things, and people reply back, hey, thanks, same to you. And if they reply back to the email, I reply back to them, and just so. It's been good. I mean, I've had them for 4 months, and it's been awesome.
That's Levitate?
Yeah, Levitate.
Okay,
yep.
Good. Anything else?
I just signed up with the...
You mentioned an app?
Yeah, insurance agent app.
Okay.
I just signed up with them. it's going, I just sent it out to all my clients through Levitate. So at least I knew the email would open because their email, they have an onboarding email to send out with a video, but I tried it for myself and went to my spam. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm going to put this through Levitate.
Yeah. Force it into the inbox.
And they got it all. Yeah. Not a lot of people have downloaded it so far, but
that's
they
my concern.
will. Yeah.
That's my concern is when people talk about apps, it's always like, what is the client adoption of the app? Like the client adoption of using Canopy is 80% of the time they're filling out the link and getting you everything that you need. My concern is like, what percent of the time when you say to your 500 clients or your 1,000 clients or whatever the number is, hey, go download my app, what percent of your clients are going to actually go download the app?
Yeah, and
that's my concern.
Yeah, and it hasn't been a lot, but the cost is not much.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be something that's going to be adopted more over time.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm kind of one of those believers. So far, they're not fully integrated with Easy Links because I guess Easy Links can be difficult to work with until they
shut the show down. Oh. You just started a war with. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Love Easy Links, but
I'm totally joking.
So once they, and they said we're hoping to get integration with them. So once they integrate with them, it's going to be great, a lot easier. But I just think it's going to be one of those things like I can be out on a Saturday golf and someone, I need my ID card. Yeah. Well, I can share the app to them. Yeah. They can download it and then they can go get it themselves. So I think it's going to be, I think it's a long play. I think going forward, I think more new business because they'll be getting it when they're first sign up. I think they'll probably download it like that. Yep. The existing book's probably like, oh, okay, great.
Thanks.
And then they forget about it.
I've existed without an app for a long time.
So I think it's a long play, but the cost isn't much.
Minimal.
Yeah, it's minimal for a month. So I'm like, I'm just going to roll with it and just as long as it's, see how it rolls.
Easy Links you have for the comparative rater and the management system. Anything else?
No, that's about it. Okay. I mean, just, no, just website. I have an Insurance Splash website. I mean, nothing fancy. I mean, I get more spam I get more not quote requests, but contact us. We'd like to do your SEO, or we'd like to upgrade your website. Right. I get more of those.
Right.
Spam through the website, but I've gotten a couple leads, but not much.
All right. Favorite carrier of all your carriers? Who's the carrier where you're like, I just love this carrier. I love calling them. I love sitting on hold with them. I love their customer service.
Why you got to put me in a position like that? Because I'm going to get other. Well, can I get favorite?
First
carriers?
of all, we're like 50 minutes in. We're 43 minutes in, so nobody's listened this far anyway. So nobody's going to hear this, so it's perfectly fine to say.
Okay.
Plus, I've asked this question to everybody else, and not a single person has come back and been like, when I answered that question, my career got tanked because my ex-rep, tanked.
I'm going to forward all phone calls to you.
Okay, do it.
Tell me you bullied me into this.
Okay.
I would
favorite
say
carrier.
Probably the favorite carrier from start to just as far as easy to go is Openly, the home company. They are so easy as far as their rating is easy. You chat in, you're always number one in chat.
Cool.
You're not waiting online for 45 minutes. They're so nice. You send an email to them. They get their endorsements processed. I mean, really quick. Yeah. Again, they're probably a smaller carrier, so maybe that's why they have. Sure. I've had some claims with them, and my clients have raved at how well they handle the claims. Yeah. So that's what I would probably say as far as easy doing business. I mean, they're not for everybody because they have their little box that they want to work in, but they just seem really good. I mean, and
what's amazing about Openly to me is they're relatively a young insurance company, and they have really done a great job doing what you just described and impressing a lot of agents. So they're really forcing their way into the conversation on a big national level. So despite their size, they are just like, everywhere you go, people are talking about Openly and open APIs, and everywhere you go, people are chit-chatting about how cool Openly is. Yeah. And it's just really fascinating to me because as young as they are, they sure are getting a lot of mentions and a lot of comments, and a lot of momentum is headed the Openly direction, I see.
Yeah, I mean, the policy they write the HO5 policy almost on steroids. I mean, you if you look at their basic coverages that come with it, so it kind of takes it out. I mean, there's not a whole lot of endorsements you could put to it because it's such a solid policy. Yeah. And it's just, if you fit in their bucket, I mean, they're a great.
And they don't do auto yet in your state.
They don't do it anywhere. I heard they might roll it out sometime in 2024. So it's probably towards the end of 20. I think it would have been here sooner if it wasn't for the hard market.
Yeah, most of those insurtech companies are like wrestling towards getting an auto product on the street as quickly as possible. So they all started out with renters or homeowners
Yeah.
and stuff. And now they're all clamoring and wrestling to get there as quickly as possible.
But but I'm going to give a shout out to Travelers, Safeco, Nationwide, and Progressive too. They're awesome.
Okay. That's him going, but I
They're-
love
they're
everybody
awesome,
else too. They all are. They're all
Yeah.
great. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. No, I like all my carriers.
Okay. What value do you bring your clients that captives and others are not bringing to the table?
I just think the biggest value is that having options for them. I think having options for, to let them know that, hey, I can look at these. I mean, obviously, I've told people, again, back to probably giving too much information, I'm saying you can probably shop every 6 months and save money.
Sure.
But do you want to go through that? And I say during that time, you're probably going to lose something along the way, some coverage. You're going to lose something by doing that.
Sure.
So I just think that having options for them and having peace of mind that they can say, okay, well, you looked at 10 companies for me. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's go. I'm not happy about the rate increase, but I understand, and thank you so much. Yeah. So I think that's the best option we can do as independents, or captives. You really have no options. I mean, when you're in captive with the rate increase, you have two options. You either take away coverages or raise deductibles up. It's not the best, usually in the best thing of the, for the client's interest. So.
Right. What do carriers do? You don't have to name a specific carrier if you don't want, but what do carriers do that drive you nuts? Where you're just going, this just kills me when you people do this thing.
I would just say, number one, when their websites don't work, that's the worst thing in the world. That is when it takes you 5 hours to do a simple change.
Yeah. That's
ridiculous. That drives you to want to get everybody in that carrier or away from them
as quickly as possible.
That's probably the thing that drives me nuts the most. Everything else, I mean, I kind of look at it, if they're making changes, I assume they're making changes in their best interest to make sure that they're profitable, because obviously they got to be profitable. So I don't really question that. Right. Rate increases are part of the business. Yeah. Some take on more than others, and that just kind of drives you crazy. And some other things are, I guess probably one of the biggest things too is like when they're with claims is they just list them as comp when they're a glass claim. Yeah. So certain carriers, you have 4 comp claims, you can't, but if they're glass, they're okay in Arizona. Right. You get them. So then you have to send your client to get a letter of experience for them to say they're glass only, where I don't know if it's a play on the insurance company just saying, hey, put comp in there, or the person's just lazy and not listing it as glass, or if it's their play to, hey, put comp in there.
It's a company policy.
Put comp in there, so then they maybe can't,
It's an interesting thing that you're saying because it seems so minute and it seems so silly, right? It doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but what it does is it impacts the agent's amount of time that they have to invest in the process. And so it's a really good point. Like, I think a lot of times carriers do stuff that they don't even realize is making your life more painful.
Yeah.
And when they do those things, it's like, oh, I wish they would stop doing that thing, because it rubs just a little bit weird and it makes it a little bit more complicated for me.
Yeah. I have a client that's going through it. They're getting mailed the letter of experience, and I can't write their autos because I have to prove it. And they're just they're like mail or fax. And they're like, we don't have a fax at our homes. So I don't know if it's just.
It's another perfect example. Yeah, we'll mail you your letter of experience. Okay. Could you just email it to me like this second?
Yeah, it is. But it's just, that's probably they're stupid little things, but it's just kind of, they're like, I could have had this done already, but now I got to put my client. They might have to wait on hold for 2 hours with their care because I can't get the letter of experience for them. Sure. It's just little things like that. But I mean, if that's the worst, it's not bad.
Yeah, I agree. But I do think it's worth saying that I think oftentimes carriers do little things that they don't even intend to do that make the life of an insurance agent more complicated.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
What percent of the placement equation? So I have to place a client with an insurer. What percent of that equation is driven by rate? And what else is part of that equation?
It's a loaded question because obviously some people, you have that certain clientele that.
What I heard you say when you said it's a loaded question is, you're an incredible interviewer, Shawn Micheal Walker. That's what I heard. Again, that's exactly what I heard.
That is why you're my favorite person in insurance.
It's a loaded question. You said it's a loaded question. I heard you're an incredible interviewer. Okay, so you're writing a client today. It's going to be $10,000 in written premium issue. It's going to be a nice little thing. what percent of the equation is driven by rate, and what else plays into that equation?
I would say the risk overall, number one, is what they're looking for. You know, if you're getting with some of the higher valued homes, some of the companies have better endorsements when you have some of the things. So I think that outweighs the rate a lot of times to have these better endorsements, to have them, to get a better policy for them. I think on that. Auto coverage is pretty similar with all the carriers. Obviously, some offer better things, you know, accident forgiveness, or you know, some of the higher end ones they offer deductible forgiveness. But auto insurance is pretty basic for the most part. But the home insurance, I think, really comes into play with, you know, the higher valued homes. I think coverage becomes a lot more important than the price at that point. Yeah. But again, like I was saying on clients, you know, price, you got a certain clientele that price is everything for them. Yeah. And to me, it's kind of like, I want to get the business. Obviously, I don't sell the state minimums in my agency. I won't do that. I always match uninsured, underinsured. So as long as they're okay with that, let's focus on a price, because maybe they're in a point right now that, it's money's tight, but once you get them into your agency and you work with them, you can get them to raise things up, maybe move them, educate them a little bit. And price doesn't mean they're not as price sensitive anymore. Yeah. So that's it. But some of the other clients that don't, you know, price is always going to come on the table. You know, people are always going to, you know, they're all looking to save money. Yeah. But sometimes I've been in a situation where, you know, I'm $1,000 more, but I come in and present it, and I'm like, well, you have all this coverage. If you go add that coverage here, you're going to be $3,000 more than you are. This is what's going on, and you win on that. So I think it just depends on what the people value. You know, if they value your honest opinion and what you're talking to them about, price can kind of go out the window at that point.
Yeah, you can really take it off the table effectively if you do all the things right.
Yeah, but that's not a big majority of the population. Yeah, you know, but it's kind of a balance. You know, I kind of look at their risk tolerance and where they are. I mean, I have some companies that are, you know, heavy tech. Well, for the younger person, let's put them there because they love the technology. They love the download. They can service their claim through their app. They love that. Yeah. Perfect.
Let me ask it a different way. Your least favorite company that you have access to, no name, you're just in your own head, you're going, I got it, has the lowest rate on the street. Will all of your business start flowing to that carrier?
No.
Why?
I actually quit putting business with them.
Okay.
Because my time's too valuable.
Yeah.
Because it's just to make the little changes and stuff, spend all this time, errors out, and I won't even do it.
You just said I quit. It's too bad.
Yeah, I just quit writing business with them and trying to move people away from them because of that. Time's too valuable, and then also clients. I actually had a client that had auto insurance with them, went to add a vehicle, and they had 3 vehicles, went to replace one of the vehicles, didn't add that one and deleted another vehicle. So it took 2 weeks.
To fix this stupid issue.
To fix it. Yeah. So my client's like, move me. I don't care. And they paid more money to go to another company. They just move me. Yeah. So it's that bad that, I mean, I think that hopefully they'll right the ship someday, but until they do, I'm not going to do it. I mean, and obviously they're probably going to have to raise rates and it's just.
So I've asked the question 2 different ways, but rate plays a relatively small role in the placement of business in your agency.
Yeah, I think so.
As long as the customer is willing to go down the path with
you. Exactly.
Okay, cool. We are wrapping up very, very quickly here. So this is my last question for you, unless something comes out of this thing. What would you tell younger Jason getting into the business?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Stay in private investigation.
No, what would I tell you?
Wait till GPS comes on board.
What would I tell you? I mean, probably to start it sooner.
Yeah.
I mean, I like I said, my first job was great, but I probably should have only done that until maybe I was 29, 30. Yeah. Wish I would have got into insurance at 30 as opposed to 35. Yeah. I really wish that's probably what I'd tell myself, younger, because I think it's a great industry. I think it's constantly changing. And, it's exciting. To me, it's exciting. I guess I'm kind of like you, an insurance nerd.
Yeah.
I like
super
it.
Dorky.
But in a cool way.
Yeah, super dorky in a very cool way. So cool that when you say you're an insurance agent, everybody in the room is like, oh, get away from that guy.
I can clear out a room faster than anything.
That's when you know you're cool.
I mean, it probably doesn't help when I bring my laptop with me to the party and tell people I'll quote them. Yeah.
You're like, I have my briefcase right here. I'm ready to go.
I'm texting in my Canopy Connect.
Yeah.
Fill this out when you get home. So
you mentioned it's constantly changing. So now this is the new last question. Do you like the constant changes, or are you like, yeah, the constant changes drive me insane, or is that what makes it foxy to you? Because for me in the insurance industry, I love, it's been 20 years and every day there's something wild and new and something's changed and it's like, whoa, that's crazy that changed that way. Or I see a company do something like a tactic where I go, wow, I've never seen that tactic done before. How interesting is that? So for me, I love the constant change, but do you love the constant change?
I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, I enjoy it because you don't want to be bored. I don't want to be bored doing what I do. So, I mean, some of the change I like, some of the change I can't stand. Yeah. You know, when they make a change that I think is for the worst, not rate increases, but maybe remove a coverage, maybe not want this, you know, change coverages or something like that. Yeah. I don't like that because if it's a good it causes if it's a good coverage. So, but they're constantly evolving. I mean, I've seen some companies come out with some new endorsements which make their policy even better. And so it's a good thing to protect clients because I don't know if insurance companies are seeing things that, hey, well, we didn't have this, but hey, maybe we should have this endorsement, price it right so people are covered, because nothing worse when somebody has a claim, it's always in the home and it's not covered. Yeah. What do I pay insurance for? What do I pay? And, you know, then you have those people that have those $50,000 claims and then they're very thankful that they had it. And they're like, you kind of talk to them if the rates go up. Well, you know, you paid $800 a month or a year for the last 15 years. You're not even a third of the way through with that claim paid out. Right. And then, and they realize that. So it's just kind of I don't know.
Yeah. Let me ask you just a couple last questions. Super Bowl was just in Arizona. Yes. How did that play out for Arizona? How did that play out for you specifically? Did you get in any of the action?
No, we stayed away from everything. We stayed away from the chaos.
All action.
There've been a couple there since I've been there. So we stayed away from everything. I mean, it was good for the economy. I mean, I don't know how much money how many hundreds of millions of dollars, but it was good. It was horrible because they jacked the rates up on golf everywhere. They doubled. Yeah. So we didn't play golf for a couple of weeks. Right. So, and traffic was bad, and
it was all the same weekend as the waste management golf tournament too, right? So it was all happening in one weekend.
Yeah. The waste.
I've never been to the waste management golf tournament. Is it incredible?
If you go on Wednesday or Thursday. Don't go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or Sunday's okay. Oh, Saturday is it's a train wreck.
Okay.
It's literally, and this is
like a fun train wreck or like a real bad train wreck?
Like,
because a train wreck can be, I mean, not a real
some
train
things
wreck.
are fun. You know, you get the girls, you know, wearing their high heels trying to walk through the golf course like they're going to the club.
No.
But so they're getting stuck in the in the grass. And then there's a lot of extremely inebriated people there, like just hammered. So that gets a little fun. No, that's not fun. I mean, it was when I was probably in my 20s. But now, no, I don't want to be around it. Right. I don't know if you saw this year that the guy stripped down in his
I did not see
briefs, ran onto the 16th green, then took off out the tunnel and jumped in the water and swam to. They had this waste management open sign and standing there. Right. And he had the mullet that was the worst hair, like a mullet halfwly down his back, and he's up there jumping around. And it's like, yeah, that's great. Makes Arizona look good. But this is this tournament used to pride itself. It never sold out. But it sold out on Friday and Saturday the first time ever.
I've heard it's a fun golf tournament.
Yeah.
I've heard it's super fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're like on a 16th green in a corporate tent, yeah. But if you're in general admission in those bleachers, no. I mean, it gets a little crazy. Wow. I'm a little too old for that.
Somebody hit a hole in one this year, and right? Didn't they just?
They might have. They like on 16. 16 is like the party hole, and Tiger Woods hit one back in '97, I think. Like several golfers have hit hole in ones, and people just start throwing their beer can. They went to glass, I think, paper or plastic cups this year instead of beer cans. People used to throw the beer cans on there. So
dent the green or something.
Yeah, so it's just. But I mean, if you go to the pro Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe Sunday,
get out of there before it gets too crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, this is it. Any other questions? Any other?
No.
Anything else you're dying to say?
No. Let's see. Try to think.
I wore a baseball cap just because you wore it. I knew you were wearing yours, so I thought I better make him feel comfortable.
I was going to wear a suit, but I would have been extremely uncomfortable the whole time.
I understand.
I don't look good, but I want to hold on for 2 more seconds.
2 more seconds.
1 hour.
There we go. It's been 1 hour on the dot.
That's all I wanted.
That's a solid podcast. So we'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. This has been Shawn Micheal Walker and Jason with Insurance You Indemnify Me. Bye-bye.
Thank you.